Hey guys, so in this case study, I'm going to break down exactly how two founders created and scaled Cal AI, a ChatGPT wrapper app, to a $2 million per month business in just 12 months, and their plan to destroy MyFitnessPal, which has been running since 2005. I will break down their high converting paywall funnel that increases their conversion rate, improves LTV, and reduces churn. I will also break down their sales optimized social media layout that makes people need to download the app and start paying their money, as well as their hyper growth marketing strategy that they implemented into their business that led to them generating all of this success. And lastly, how you can copy all of this and implement it into your own business. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Sebastian. Welcome. I help grow online businesses. I've grown my own businesses from 0 to 6 to 7 figures multiple times. I've been able to live a pretty cool lifestyle thanks to being able to run online businesses. I've also helped other people get similar results. So yeah, let's just jump to the case study. And these are the founders. Cal AI was created by two co-founders, Blake Anderson, age 23, and Zach Yadagari, age 17, who was still in high school when they were building this app. They have a little bit of experience having built similar types of apps in SaaS, like Totally Science, RichGPT, and Umax. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Cal AI, it is basically calorie tracker similar to MyFitnessPal. The only difference is that it makes the actual tracking much easier by implementing AI to basically just take a photo, send it over to ChatGPT, run a couple of prompts, and figure out an estimate of the amount of calories that the food has. And that just makes tracking way easier, makes it a much more easier and seamless process for the customer. And yeah, that's how they've been able to get this successful. They're currently doing, like I said, $2 million per month with basically two guys running it. And now they just have a pretty small lean team running the whole thing. They're ranked 7th in health fitness. They got 800K downloads just last month. And for reference, they do have competitors like LifeSum and BitePal, which are also doing 400K and 300K per month, as well as some smaller competitors, which are not doing too bad either. So yeah, definitely a very, very big market, very interesting market. And the buyers are basically hungry for this types of app. So yeah, that's basically what the app is and how it works. Not too complicated. It is basically just a ChatGPT wrapper with some niche specific feature sets. But now let's break down really what makes them successful. How are they able to achieve these crazy numbers and crazy results? And we're actually going to start the breakdown at the end of the funnel, which is their paywall. But this is where they actually, convert the users and make the money. And later on, we're going to break down their marketing as well. But yeah, once the user actually installs the app, they will go through a very long onboarding process, which is a masterclass in quiz funnels and getting people to commit to the app and to the sign up process, which will make it so that once the user is hit with the hard paywall, it's much more likely that they're going to convert. Now, if you're not familiar with a hard paywall versus a soft paywall, the difference with the hard paywall is that they have to input their credit card information. It's impossible to use the app without entering their billing information. Now, they're first hit with the free hook trial, which means no payment now, try for $0, yada. That gets them excited. Then they're hit with the trial explainer, which basically explains how the trial works. They get a 3-day trial if they subscribe to the yearly plan, and they anchor the price on the monthly plan at $10 a month, which is $120 a year. And so in their head, they're getting a 80 to 90% discount by subscribing to the yearly plan, which has the free plan. And if they decline the yearly plan as well, they're actually hit with the second one-time offer, which is a $20 per year subscription. And compared to the anchor price, $20 a year is basically just 2 months. So in the customer's mind, this looks like a $100 discount. And the founders decided to use a hard paywall very strategically because they built an app like Grind Clock before, where they had a freemium model with ads so that the user could use the app without actually having to pay. But that led to much lower revenue despite the high downloads. And having this sort of premium model makes it much easier to scale the app profitably because you know for a fact that the users will convert and will enter the billing information. And that turns them into much higher quality customers. Now, also have here for reference, here's another user who, they're not part of the Cal AI team, but they did the same thing as they did, which is implementing a hard paywall. And as you can see, up till this point, they had a soft paywall where the user could use the app for free. And it wasn't until they activated the hard paywall, which forces users to start the billing cycle and activate the trials, is when they actually saw an increase in trial activations. Now, I'm showing you this as proof that they're not the only ones, and this is a strategy that does work for other people as well. And you can start implementing it in your own business. And yeah, before we move on, I do want you to take a look at the onboarding flow and the exact quiz funnel and how it looks, how it's designed, and the type of questions they ask, and consider implementing the same thing into your business, because the drop-off from people who start and finish it will be big. But the type of customer that finishes the quiz funnel is far more likely to convert and be a paying user and stay longer using the app than the type of user who's not going to go through this funnel. So use this as inspiration. So now let's move over to their social media profile, which is step 2 in their whole funnel. Like I said, social media is the middleman step between the user discovering the app and downloading and using it. Now, their profile layout is actually pretty clean. Basic name, title, simple bio with some social proof of how many downloads they have, as well as a direct link to the App Store. Then a very smart play is that they have a tutorial on how to actually use the app pinned into their reels so that any new customers who are still confused about how the app works will easily be able to figure out and understand what it is and how it works. Their brand stat as well, very, very interesting. I will go over them in a bit. But first I want to take a look at how they're utilizing the story feature on Instagram. And they're using that basically as a sales mechanism with having testimonials, reviews, research, FAQ, and food scans, which are all things that the user will be interested in learning before they install the app. And inside the testimonial story, they have social proof of all the influencers they've worked with, and as well as their testimonials, basically recommending the app. And as I'm going through these highlights, I will also highlight my own little tip or advice on how I would actually improve this strategy even more. And here for the influencers is that if you're already paying for an influencer and you have already contact with them, then you should just have them record a video testimonials praising the app that you can include in your story highlights, because it's going to be much more natural than trying to read through a photo. It will give much more weight to their influence than just using their pics, as well as be like undeniable proof that they actually said this and they actually mean it, and it's not just, a made up quote. Next up is their review story, which is basically just customer reviews. And it's also pretty good, but especially if you have customers, this is where you should be including before and after photos, as well as higher level reviews like from the App Store or Trustpilot, because these are just comments, right? They're all nice, but a review from the App Store will have much more weight to it than a comment does. And the same thing goes for the before and after photos of customers, right? It makes it much more personal, much more interesting. On the research story is basically just them explaining how it works, why it's accurate, and explaining more of the science behind the app. And here it's basically perfect. The only thing I would add here is if you're able to find some kind of news articles or research studies, which basically just add more validity and trust to what you're saying. Next is the FAQ tab, which again, perfectly fine, is basically just them answering some very common questions they keep getting about why did they create the AI, why does it cost money, how is it accurate, who's the team behind it. It's good as is, but in my opinion, Instagram is a video sharing platform and stories are known to be videos, right? So it's kind of just weird to be reading text and an image on a story. It will be much more effective if you as the founder could just show off your office and talk about these exact questions. It will just add much more trust and validity to what you're saying, as well as making the customers trust you more and also just blending better in with the Instagram algorithm without making it seem like it's some kind of ad or a product read, But besides that, it's pretty good. And then lastly is their food scans, and this is basically just them reposting customers sharing Cal AI. And this is just perfect. This is what you're supposed to do. Whenever somebody tags them in a story highlight, they'll repost it on their story as well as add it to this story highlight, which is just great marketing. And now as promised, let's go back to their statistics because their stats are very, very interesting. The first thing you'll notice is the fact that they have almost 1,000 posts on their profile. And later on in the video, I'm actually going to break down exactly when they post and how often they post, so stay tuned to that. But the main thing you want to actually take a look at is that the last 15 videos, their average views is only around 40K, which is really not that much, and in my opinion, something you can very easily replicate. Yeah, so with that, I actually want to take a deeper look into their exact posting strategies and how they're structured to deal with the influencers, and that goes into their marketing system, which is short form videos. Right? It's the exact same strategy that people like Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi, if you're familiar with them, use to explode their personal brands. And so these guys basically use their exact same strategy and playbook that they already mapped out for them and used it to blow up their app to $2 million per month. And so this strategy actually goes into 3 parts, which is Instagram, TikTok, and then lastly paid ads. And each one kind of folds into each other and wouldn't really work without the other. And so in this section, I'm actually going to break down each one of them step by step. And so what they do is they reach out to influencers through the DMs feature. They started off doing this just manually by themselves, but by now they do have a full-on team who's just dedicated to reaching out to people. From there, they want to negotiate for the exact pricing for per post, per story post, and how much the influencer wants to charge them. Then you order a bulk promo post to get a lower rate per video. Once you agree with the influencer on the rate and how many posts and everything else, you guys sign the contract, everything like that. Then you give the influencer a referral code, which will help with tracking metrics as well as giving some incentive to the audience. And then from there, you just repeat this until you have an army of influencers posting for you nonstop. And so yeah, here's a preview of Kaliai's actually most popular video, which got 10 million views. Promo code is right here. And also, if you guys remember, the promo code actually links back into the quiz funnel at the beginning of the sign-up process, where the user can enter their promo code right here. So everything's connected. And so from this, we want to break this into 3 separate sections, which is the influencers, the marketing analysis, and the posting analysis. And so let's start with the influencers. First thing you'll notice is that these guys have worked with a lot of different influencers. And this is only the influencers that they have linked as partners inside their own profile. There's plenty more which they just, didn't partner on the post with. So you wouldn't be able to see them here. Although this Francisco guy alone, they've done 44 sponsored posts with them. Jade, 31, and so on and so forth, all the way to all these even these small indie creators. And actually, small tip I actually noticed here is that their actually most liked video is from a Spanish creator. So these guys aren't only going for fitness influencers in America or speak English. These guys are going for global influencers across the world. Next up, I actually want to go over their posting analysis, which is pretty interesting. They've actually achieved almost 100 million views with almost 1,000 posts in the last 12 months. That means these guys are posting about 2.6 reels per day. And that seems pretty daunting if you've never, done organic promotion before. But this is like the bare minimum if you want to see real traction on the platform. And you have to understand that you're not trying to go viral every single post. These guys have almost 1,000 posts, and barely any of them ever get past a few million, right? Most of them stay near the bottom, under 2 mil. But the real secret here is consistency. It's not chasing that one viral hit. It's about being consistent, showing up day in and day out, and posting basically every single day. Here's a streak of the amount of times they're posting. And the darker the circle is, the more times they posted that day. And as you can see, when they started, they posted a little bit here. And then in June, they actually kicked into high gear. And from July, August, September, October, November, December, these guys have been posting basically every single day. Obviously, they missed a couple days, but then it was until this year that these guys really locked in, and they're posting multiple times per day, every single day. They did not miss a single day in March, right? So this is who you're competing with. If you're not willing to put in this level of work, you will never be able to outcompete people like this, and you will never earn as much as these guys are earning. So hopefully this really puts into perspective that this isn't just luck. They didn't just get lucky with this app. This is real results after, months of hard work, basically. One last thing I did want to mention is that majority of their post is during midnight. And yeah, here's another schedule that basically how often they post if you're interested in that. And lastly, let's actually check out what are they posting? What type of videos are they creating? What type of promotions are they doing? How are they promoting their app through these influencers? And so yeah, and their promotion strategy is actually called a stealth promo, where they never directly promote the app and advertise the app to viewers, because that's gonna just kill engagement basically. So what they do is they find other viral videos that have already blown up on this creator or just on the platform as a whole. They have the creator recreate the viral hook and the viral video concept, and then in the middle of the video, they simply add the stealth promo of using the app to count calories, and then they finish off with the payoff, right? And then they keep repeating this, viral hook, stealth promo, payoff. So on and so forth. It doesn't matter if you are doing fitness tips, if you are doing some kind of crazy challenges with food or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're just doing some kind of motivational video. It doesn't matter if you're doing guides or day in the lives or something like that. As long as it has to do something to do with health and fitness, all you do is just slap the stealth promo in the middle. People are interested, people start commenting, and then from there you want to hijack the comments and just lead them to your social media profile and lead them to search up the app manually in the App Store and to drive up engagement on the video itself as well. And of course, there's many different types and methods of video formats to blow up and promote your app or software or product, whatever you want to sell. But this is the specific methodology these guys use that has worked the best for them and has consistently delivered in views and downloads for them. But yeah, now let's actually move over to the TikTok side. And again, the TikTok side is basically the same as Instagram. There's really not much difference. It's short form and short form. These platforms are basically the same. But one key difference with TikTok is actually the fact that they're actually posting themselves a lot more here through basically multi-accounting. They create multiple different accounts for Cal AI, and then have each one basically repost and post different clips and edits of the content they already have. As well as building their own viral video formats, like the slideshow, where they have just basically images with some bait text, which gets people to comment and react. And same thing as always, basically. And yeah, and this slideshow thing has actually been their sort of key format that has gotten them viral very often without having to pay for any influencers, right? You can make this in 5 seconds. You just download an image, add a little bit of text, and you post it. You don't have to sponsor any influencer. You don't post anything. So you can always create content yourself. Not every post has to be an influencer post. And then from there, the more accounts you have, the more often you post. Try to post as much as you can. There is no limit. There is no hard set limit that you're only allowed to post this much. Post literally every single day as much as you can. And that's your secret to success. With every post you do make, you want to include something that kind of baits people to leave a reaction and leave a comment, because the algorithm will reward whenever you're able to have more interaction on your post. And it's a pretty simple strategy, but make sure to do that. And lastly, the comment strategy for yourself as well is comment jacking, which is what, like I was mentioning before, is that they never directly promote Cal AI. They never tell you, go into the App Store, type in Cal AI, download the app. They never do that, right? All their marketing is always subtle and shadowy. And as you can see, they either leave the comment themselves, or whenever somebody asks for the app name or the name of the app, they immediately reply with, you can find us in the App Store, Cal AI. And as you can see, there's other examples here. And as well as once you do this enough time, other people who ask the same question end up answering other people's questions as well, doing basically all the work for you, as well as giving more incentive to promote their own promo codes to get people to install the app using their code. As you can see, both the TikTok strategy and the Instagram strategy are very, very similar. They're basically interlinked. There's not much difference here. But this is where you take both of these and then you funnel them into this, which is paid ads and paid marketing. And Cal AI has only really started running paid ads very, very recently, and they're currently spending about $7,000 per day on them. And all the marketing content they've already built up through months and months of testing and posting and working with different influencers and gathering a giant library of content and metrics of what they know will perform and what will not perform, which then they can now utilize in their paid advertising without having to worry about spending money on recording new ads or testing different things, because they already know what works and what doesn't. And all they have to do now is just throw more money at it and keep getting a return on investment. And the added benefit of paid advertising is the fact you can track precisely where each sale and conversion is coming from. Unlike, influencers, it is still kind of hit or miss. You don't know when the video is going to go viral. You don't know exactly which video got the most installs. You don't know exactly, did they use the code? Did they not use the code? Did they search it up from this video, or did they wait until a different video came up and somebody else commented and then they search it up? You never know, because it's all organic. You have no way to really track it precisely. But with paid ads, everything is being tracked through the Facebook Pixel or the Google Pixel or wherever you decide to advertise. So you get access to all of the data and you know exactly what is happening through your conversion funnel. So yeah, right now they're currently running about 61 ad creatives. And like I said, most of them were launched just in April. And almost each one of these ads is a video that has already gone viral through an influencer or a creator that they've worked with before. And so yeah, here's a preview of all their ads basically. There's a link as well here if you want to take a look at them directly. And yeah, so right now, this is basically their whole mechanism of getting social media traffic into the app and into subscriptions, which prints them MRR money. And all of this funnels into their growth flywheel. They created an inherently viral product that is interesting from the second you see it work. You take a photo of your food, you instantly see your calories or macros. It's visually engaging. There's no real explanation needed. The customer just understands how the feature works immediately. It sparks curiosity and sharing and talking about what the product is. What is this? I've never seen something in this market. I'm super interested. And so then this leads into their influencer content engine. They currently have over 150 fitness creators on monthly retainers, all producing 4+ short form videos every single month. They cracked the winning viral formula, which is a seamless in the wild integrations, a stealth pitch of the app basically through viral content that they see already working on the platform. Videos like what I eat in a day, fitness routines, tutorials, guides, viral stunts, anything of that nature. And then in the middle of the app, they simply plug Cal AI in action, which then leads the user to either download the app directly, or if they still have questions, they go to the comment section, and that's where they ask the question, what is that app? then they get an instant answer, which is Cal AI. This creates buzz, increases discoverability, drives installs without a clear, a salesy call to action, which just makes everything seem like they're discovering this. This is very organic. They're discovering this is something they shouldn't have known about, which they then take all of this success and put into paid ads amplification. And now during the funnel, right, they're going to find the video, they're going to go to the comment section, then they're going to search the app, they're going to download it, they're going to go through this quiz funnel, and then they're going to be hit with a hard paywall where they need to enter the billing information, right? Between all of these steps, there's many people who are going to drop off and just lose interest because they got bored through the whole tedious motion of trying to make this work, right? And this is where paid advertising goes in, and you're able to retarget and just advertise to these people again and make it, and remind them of why they should use this app, which then leads back into the app and their conversion psychology and why they have been able to convert so many free users into paying ones through their amazing, basically sales onboarding system. They ask them very psychological questions on why they should want the app, make the users invest a lot of time and effort until they see the paywall. Once they're hit with the paywall, it's going to basically get rid of all the freeloaders and people who are going to, not really want to pay anyways. And you're only left with people who are serious about what they want and are willing to pay you for it. So that's going to lead to lower churn, higher LTV, and just you making more money in the end. And then lastly, it goes into step 6, which is just reinvesting the revenue they earn. Right now, from what I've heard, is that they're sitting at around 50% profit margins. And all they take is that profit and just put it back into influencer ads. They're going to develop other health apps and keep expanding the app, as well as building other apps and tools that they've talked about a couple times on Twitter and YouTube. And so yeah, that's basically the secret behind their explosive viral growth and how they keep continuing growing and growing and growing. And I really suggest you guys study this. But next up, I actually want to talk about the future of Cal AI and where do they go from here, right? They already basically achieved the pinnacle of success for a solo-founded small company, right? 2 million a month, started off with 2 founders, is a pretty crazy result. And where should they go from here? Now, I have to praise the fact that Cal AI has done basically everything right from the get-go. And now all that's left really is to dethrone their number 1 competitor, which is MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is currently worth at around 345 million. And they're currently earning about 12 million per month through the app. And the fact that Cal AI has caught up to them in less than a year, while these guys have existed since 2005, should make these guys very worried. And unlike MyFitnessPal, these guys managed to achieve all of this without any VC funding or investment capital, and they completely bootstrapped it by just 2 guys working really hard. And so the only real 2 options I see happening here is that these guys dethrone them completely, steal all their users, or these guys take the initiative and simply buy Cal AI out basically and improve their platform. But yeah, it's very impressive what they've managed to achieve. So yeah, the future of Cal AI looks very bright, but there are still around 3 areas that I would really consider improving so that they can keep scaling and surpass MyFitnessPal. And those specific areas is number 1, Google and YouTube ads. MyFitnessPal really doesn't run that many meta ads, as I think they're targeting a bit of an older demographic than Cal AI is, and they rely heavily on Google ads and YouTube ads. And so I'll definitely take some inspiration here, doing search ads as well as YouTube video ads, and see if you can, you've already mastered how to get the attention of young people to get on your app. I feel like getting the attention of older people and older audiences should be the next logical step here. And to also keep expanding your market share with the younger audience, I would definitely start running ads on TikTok as well as Snapchat ads. And just be omnipresent always. No matter what app that you open up, they should always be seeing ads from Cal AI, getting them to install and getting them to revisit and reopen the app and turn opening Cal AI into a habit and to just track their whole life through it. And so step 2 that I think Cal AI should really improve is their brand building, because they really still haven't built like a proper brand, I feel like, the same way that FitnessPal is a brand. Cal AI is not there yet. Right now, Cal AI is still riding high purely off the novelty factor that comes with the fact that you can take a photo and it'll tell you the calorie count. That's basically been their driving force through their whole marketing campaign, through their influencer sponsorships. Everything they do is simply the fact that the technology is new and interesting, and that's what they've been riding on. But this feature alone has no moat because everyone with a ChatGPT subscription can replicate their feature set overnight, basically. And as we saw at the beginning, there's already beginning to be, more and more apps replicating their success. They see the type of numbers they're doing, and they see how easy it is to replicate their app. And so they're eating up some of their market share slowly but surely. And so I think now is the perfect time for Cal AI to start thinking about a long-term plan and vision for their brand to survive for decades to come, the same way MyFitnessPal has been able to survive since 2005. And the main strategies that I think I would look into for this is starting off with long-form content. They've already mastered the short-form game, but right now, KaliAI's audience is too spread out across different influencer posts and just random reel scrolling. I think that they should really start hiring an in-house team of athletes that can produce content for KaliAI full-time on clockwork. And not just short-form videos, but specifically long-form videos on YouTube with workouts, cooking guides, training guides, motivational guides, transformational guides, and so on and so forth. Doing so will really help add a face to KaliAI and turn into a brand name that they can attach themselves to much easier than, just the logo of KaliAI. Next up, I would focus on building a community, because going forward, I think communities and spaces where people can gather is what's going to survive in the era of just slop content and AI-generated feeds and algorithms. And so to do that, they should be adding in social proof loops inside the app, group challenges, private community features, leaderboards, streaks, and anything that would make the users much more emotionally involved inside of KaliAI. And now that you have long-form content, as I talked about here, you can now start building a real audience that cares about KaliAI on a deeper level. And you can start organizing real-life events, competitions, and you can experiment with expanding the KaliAI brand to other products, tools, even real-life products, gyms, and so on and so forth. In the coming years, depending on what direction you decide to go with the app. And my last piece of advice here is a larger and more strategic marketing campaign that goes beyond just showing up on the For You page when people are scrolling short-form content. Like I said, KaliAI's current success is riding the wave of being cool and new. But in the future, that's very unlikely to keep working at the same level as it is right now. And so to combat that, I think they should really heavily reinvest that money into long-term marketing campaigns. For example, building challenges and courses about, achieve your fitness goals in this many days, or get a flat belly in this many days, or get shredded, and so on and so forth. For example, P90X, which came out decades ago, it's still talked about and is still popular now. It was a DVD training program years ago, and people are still talking about it. And so by doing that, you're able to sell an audience a goal to accomplish that's more than just, hey, download this app, which helps you with this one thing. By doing something like this, you can really change how they think about fitness on a foundational level and engrave yourself much deeper in their journey as a whole. Instead of them being inspired to start working out by somebody else, and then they only then get into calorie tracking through your content. You can be part of their journey from the beginning to the end by doing all of this. And a good example of this is actually Alex Hormozi and the way he started running the school games when he bought a stake in school. He never sold school as a community platform. That's never what he did. Because there's hundreds of community platforms from WAP or Discord or Circle, whatever else. What he sold was the new method and mechanism of making money through communities, aka school, which then made everybody interested and pay attention to it. And so in a few years, when the novelty factor of AI photo scanning wears off and everybody has an AI in their pocket, everybody knows how AI works and everybody's using it, that's what KaliAI should start preparing for, in my opinion. And so lastly, step 3 is also a pretty minor one, the same way the Google Ads tip was pretty minor, is the fact that they really should expand their creative strategy on Facebook. Because what they're doing right now is absolutely working, and they should scale it as much as possible, but there's a few key things that I would fix with it, in my opinion. And it's the fact that their current strategy is just repurposing viral videos from organic over to ads. And like I said, this absolutely works, but it's a very brute approach to advertising, and advertising can be layered down on a much more granular scale. And that is because with advertising, you have the ability to pay for visibility. You don't have to rely on virality gimmicks and different fun hooks and viral concepts for videos to get traction with the ad, right? You can just pay and it'll force the ad to be shown in front of people. And so what they should be doing is reinvesting heavily into creating custom creatives which specifically target different levels of customer awareness of where the person is in their journey, right? Maybe somebody is already a fitness pro, they already have FitnessPal, they already are used to tracking calories. So the ad they would serve to that type of customer should be way different compared to the person who is overweight, has never done fitness, has never been to the gym, has never counted calories, and now you're showing them that this is a solution to the problem, right? Those two ads will be completely different. And so with these types of ads, it's fine. You don't have to have some crazy wacky hook and retention hack tactics to force people to watch it. You don't. You can just simply speak to them. Hey, do you have this problem? This is the solution to it. Explain it. Obviously, you still wanted to edit the video to be fun and interesting, but the way you structure the video does not have to be stealthy or sneaky or a sneaky way to promote it, right? You can be very direct, and as long as the video is useful, you can target the specific people with a specific problem that your app solves and serve it to them. And that's going to convert way, way better than any sort of like viral video that goes viral on organic compared to advertising. And also, all of these ads also work as retargeting for people who are already familiar with Cal AI, but maybe they think it's not for them. And this will answer any extra questions and reasons that they might have not downloaded the app initially because they didn't realize that they needed it, right? This is your chance to re-engage these people and these potential customers and serve them new marketing material, which forces them to be interested and download the app. And so, yeah, these are my kind of 3 areas that I noticed I think they're lacking in and that they can improve. But even without that, these guys are doing $2 million a month. They're absolutely killing it. I would really suggest studying them as inspiration for how you should be running your own business. And so lastly, all I want to leave you with is that hopefully you got some value from this case study, and that if you want to talk to me and other members and people who are interested in building, viral SaaS applications and apps and mobile apps, then be sure to join the Founder Club, which is just a community of people who are doing that. And if you want to work with me one-on-one to help implement these sort of strategies and help grow and scale your company, then be sure to book a call with me, and I'll love to hear what you're working on. But yeah, that's basically it. All the links are in the description below the video. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.